Hello.
Morning.
Hello. Let's see here. Speakers, Mevo audio. Recording is in progress. All right. You
Hi.
can start the. I mean, you haven't let
Sure.
anything in yet.
Do we have it recording to this as well, Patrick?
In what?
Do we have it recording to the hard to the
I don't have it recording to the hard drive.
Okay, that's okay. It seems like Zoom's been so much better.
I like our videos from Zoom have been 4K.
Good morning. Hello, Miss Cindy. I am going to pin this. No one's here yet because they're like, let's see if Jeannie shows up. Oh man. I thought I'm on here early. I know where class isn't starting yet, but I thought I would just go ahead and do my design database transfer just to start us off. So I'm going to put the designs on the machine. So if you haven't done design database transfer yet, how about I don't show you my passcode? Okay, if you haven't done design database, oh, didn't go in. Let me do it one more time. Um, I have a little icon down here at the bottom for design database transfer. My designs are already up here. Let me see if I can show this to you a little bit better. Here we go. So let me close that. If you don't have, I should close all my windows, but I'm going to bring up a new window. So for those of you that don't have, it's just you and me, Cindy. For those of you who don't have design transfer, it will work for, I'm just letting people in. Design database transfer, there is a version for the baby lock machines, and there is a version for the brother machines. And to download those, you're just going to go to, just in your search, just look up database. No, what is it? Database transfer? Design database transfer? Okay, design database transfer. And when you type in design database transfer, you'll see there's two options. One's going to be for baby lock and one is going to be for brother. So you are going to download whatever is going to be your appropriate version. If you are not one of those two machines, those two brands, that's okay too. You can have a Bernina, you can have a Pfaff, you can have a Viking, you can have any other brand, and you can download either of those and use it as a thumbnail viewer, which I think is great because a lot of people are like, I can't see my designs on my computer because your computer does not read PES, JEF, ART, VIP. It doesn't read the embroidery file formats that your machine reads. So if you do not have a thumbnail viewer, download Design Database Transfer, and then you can use it to view your designs. The only thing you cannot do is you cannot transfer them wirelessly. That's all. So you can still use it, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I already have mine downloaded on my machine. I have the little shortcut right here on my taskbar. Is that, I think that's what that's called. So I'm going to go ahead and open mine up. And I just came on early because I was like, you know what? I'm going to transfer my designs and show you how easy it is because it's so easy. I'm hoping that you guys will use it. Hang on, I'm going to be letting people in. You know, people are going to be trickling them this whole time. All right, I'll just leave that up on the screen. So I sent you all the designs this morning, and I'm just going to, you do have to know how your computer is organized. You do have to make sure it's unzipped. You cannot open an unzipped file and transfer designs. It has to be an unzipped folder. So I have one here that I created for May, and I'm just going to open that up. And there are like little plus buttons. I know that's as close as I can zoom in right now, but I'm going to hit the little plus button next to my May, And then once that's done, I can hit May. And this is everything in my May folder. I put everything that I sent to you guys. So are there still people in the waiting room? I don't think so. All right. So I'm going to highlight what I need, which is the PES. You can cherry pick. When I pick something else, it deselects what I originally had. So to cherry pick, you're just going to hold down your control key, hold it down, and then you can cherry pick everything that you want. Whoops. So I need everything that is PES, which let me see if I can. I have everything in here. I don't want everything. And let me see, piece filler block. And then here's here's my PES is what I need. Why isn't it? I'm frozen. Hang on. So we'll get started in just a minute. I was just going to go ahead and transfer my designs first. Oh, and select the machine it's going to. Mine's going to go, the store machine is the sewing machine 248. PES. I need bows horizontal. I honestly don't know what format these are, so I'm just going to put them all. And my machine will only open the ones that it can read, so it's only going to open up the PES. I'm just going to put in everything. It'll just be easier. And once it's all highlighted, you hit your down arrow. Why won't this work? Hang on. You're like, oh, this doesn't seem that easy. I'm going to restart. I haven't restarted in a while. Let me just restart. And while you're waiting, you can get hooped up. You want your 5x7 hoop? We are going to get started with the snowflakes. So just go ahead and hoop up. I'll hoop up too. We're still going to get started in 2 more minutes. I know you're like, not only is she early today, in your supply list, I said if you have it, do a layer of badgemaster and do a layer of dissolve away. I usually put my dissolve away down first and then my badgemaster. I don't know if it makes a difference, but that's just what I prefer. I feel like the badgemaster is just always so rock solid. And I have these big pieces that were left over from cutting, and I'm just going to use it as a big piece because I'm just going to stitch right over here, and then I'll be able to save everything else. I do that a lot of times.
So
I'm going to put down this. Yes.
You put the badgemaster on top.
Or did I say? Yeah, are you asking? I put badgemaster on top.
Okay, great.
I mean, nobody's ever told me that's how you're supposed to do it. That's just what I've always done. Okay, so this is left over for when I did my last the other snowflakes, and I'm just leaving this on the roll too. So I'm just going to hoop up. For me, it's one big magnet on the top, one big one on the bottom, and this is my 5x7. So just grab your 5x7. If you don't have the magnetic hoops, don't worry about it. And we'll do a sale. So if you want to get hoops, maybe we'll do something this summer. All right, I'm booted up. Let's see if I can get stuff transferred now. I don't know what was going on. I'm just gonna roll this up on the bottom. Because when I use a little corner, I can use all cheap. It is not cheap anymore. Okay. All right. Hopefully this is working now and I can show you. There's baby Momo. I'm gonna go to design database transfer. I'm just going to load, I'm going to send all the designs over. So select the machine it's going to. You need to be all on the same Wi-Fi. If you hit one of these and then hold your shift key, it'll select all of them. gonna keep going. I'm cherry picking right now because I wonder if this is it. Shoot, I have no idea why I don't have the arrow. Am I not on my Wi-Fi? Of course I'm on my Wi-Fi. All right. I haven't had this issue before. Hang on a second, because I need to go old school USB. I have not had this happen. Give me just a second. Of course, this is the day I choose to show you how easy design database transfer is. Just wouldn't be so long with me if everything went too smoothly, right? Okay. All right. I'm still letting people in. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. All right. Let me go ahead and turn up my volume here so I can hear you guys. All right.
Jeannie?
So what we're going to do is we are stitching out our May block, and what May consists of is we are going to be doing the snowflake. The freestanding lace is what we're going to do first. So we're going to go ahead and load up, and then I'll explain everything else. What quilting design did they suggest for this one? Your quilting design is going to be called Christmas 10. No, sorry. Winter 10 4x4. For this, it's Winter 10 4x4. For these, you're going to have bows, and it's going to be the 2x6 horizontal. And then for the one with the reindeer, that one is Christmas 17. It's Christmas 17, and it is the 2x6. Where can you find this information? You guys got it. It's in your instructions. So just when I'm trying not to show you next month's. There we go. When you do this, it's going to be, oh yeah, this isn't, I was scared I was showing you next month's. It's going to be page 3, it's page 4. And it's going to say right here, here are your filler blocks. These are the pieces that you need. And right down here are the quilting designs that you're going to be using. Not only are you going to find it there, I have it in the spreadsheet. So on your spreadsheet, here is May, and I put everything in your spreadsheet too. Not only is it there, but I emailed you just the specific quilting designs you're going to be using today. And I didn't send it until this morning, so I apologize. But it was there in your email as well. So you have lots of places where you should be able to find everything, okay? Okay. That being said, let's go ahead and hoop up and let's start stitching because this is going to take 40 minutes just doing the snowflakes. I am going to show you how to add a third snowflake, but we are not going to stitch it today just because it's going to take so long. But I'm going to show you how to shrink down that design if you want to shrink it down too. So I think I should be set. I don't know why I am not getting an error to send over my design database transfer. Times like that, I would just go ahead and probably uninstall the program, and then reinstall it. So let's go over to the machine. Here we go, guys.
Jeannie, are you just
Whatever my
using badgemaster?
Yeah, I have one layer of Dissolve Away, one layer of badgemaster.
I tried that this morning, and these are my fails. I don't know if my machine didn't like the badgemaster, but the last one I can live with, but the other two, no. I
So
mean,
you're free to use 2 layers of Dissolve Away. I mean, that's what it calls for in the instructions, but I just was using 2 layers of badgemaster. So it's up
I'm
to you.
going with, I've got a fourth one going right now, and I'm
Yep.
using 3 layers of Dissolve Away. And it
Okay.
seems to be working fine. So maybe my
What I
machine
wouldn't
just
do,
like the badgemaster.
yeah, what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't use 1 layer because 1 layer is not going to be enough. I can't remember what we had it in last time, but I tried 1 layer and that was an ultimate fail. I was like, oh, we don't need that much. And oh yeah, you do. So you need to use at least 2 layers of wash away. And I personally am using 1 layer of badgemaster, 1 layer of wash away, and 1 layer of badgemaster, and it worked out great. So whatever works for you. What the instructions call for is it calls for 2 layers of wash away. So you guys can get
I'm
rid of
using
some of this.
3.
Yeah, if you want to, you can use 3 layers.
And it's to be holding up. I mean, Patrick said this morning, try another layer. So this is my 4th try.
Got it. So I'm gonna put in white thread. You're gonna see the video. I had an ultimate fail because I was like, I want to try that gorgeous thread, the Yemet thread, and it was too chunky and crisp and abrasive, and it just didn't work. So I'm gonna go just regular. This is Glide, just white, and I have a regular white pre-wound bobbin in there. And that seemed to work just fine. So what is badgemaster? Because some of you have never used it before. It's like the first time I used it was with OESD because they recommend using it with their freestanding lace. They used to do 2 layers of wash away, and now, hang on, I'm going to let some people into the room. They used to do 2 layers of wash away, and now they usually call for 1 layer of dissolve away and 1 layer of badgemaster. You also use it in like patches. You could use it in like anytime, you can stitch right on top of it. What I love about badgemaster, and I'm just leaving it right on the roll, is it is thick, but it rips away really easily, but it doesn't perforate and break while you're stitching. And I feel like, because I do a lot of freestanding lace, like if you guys look over here in that cupboard over there, I don't do everything that OESD does, but I do a lot of what OESD comes out with. And I feel like when I used to use 2 layers of dissolve away, sometimes it would like constrict and pull in. And when it went to sew the little buttonettes, it wouldn't be in place. I feel like with badgemaster, it's so rock solid, everything stays in place, and you don't have a lot of movement that you might have when you're just using 2 layers of dissolve away. So if you have it, use it. If not, don't worry about it. I would go with 2 layers of dissolve away. You could try 3 if you want, but I've done the other snowflakes. What do you guys remember what that was on? We had snowflakes on something. It was something Kimberbell, and the 2 layers worked great for me. But if you feel like you're struggling, feel free to add another layer. It's not going to hurt anything. I think we're good. I think we have everyone here we need to. I should have my design on here. Let's go ahead and load our design and start stitching. So I actually am going via USB. Hang on, am I in there? Where's my USB? Well, it's not working because I didn't put it in, but where is it? In my pocket on the ground. Oh, sorry. Where did I put it? I did not leave the room. I lost my USB. Oh, here it is. Did you guys see it right here? Were you laughing? Having a good laugh? Yeah. You're killing me. You're killing me. I gotta tell you. I'm so sorry, guys. Hang on. Hey, Patrick. I am having bad juju this morning. I honestly thought, I was like, I'm going to load the designs. And then last night I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a design database transfer. We'll just do it nice and quick. And Patrick,
Yes.
can you get me another SanDisk? I'm using a SanDisk and it doesn't like it. And the design database transfer won't transfer. Hang on. I've got the arrow now. Of course. It's not gonna.
This was scared of me.
Well, no, look, it went away. I can't get the blue. Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
It won't give me the blue arrow. Let me deselect. Ah, you know why? It will not do, because I was trying to transfer some designs that weren't, got it. Okay, we're good. Yeah, what I just learned is because I couldn't see all of the formats, I just tried to transfer everything that was in my folder on there, and it won't transfer anything that isn't PES. So that's something I've just learned. I've never done that before. So let's go ahead and hit set. I'm so sorry about that. I have a couple more people that are just showing up. Let me let them in. Here's our snowflake. Go ahead and choose your hoop size. I'm going to go to the settings button, which is going to be on the very top right here. And I'm going to choose my 5x7 hoop. We are going to be stitching out 2 snowflakes today. Here's my 5x7. And I'm going to just do maximum speed. It will default because I have my my magnetic hoop, so it's going to default to 900 stitches per minute. Just stitch it because we want to get these done. So there's one of them. I'm going to take this snowflake and I'm going to put it up in the upper left-hand corner. And I always tell people, finger for general placement, and then we're going to go edit to the move arrows. Use your move arrows for precision. And let's snag them up in the very right, top right. And I'm going to probably have you save this. I'm right up there. Even one click outside of your embroidery field is going to tell you to go to a larger hoop. I'm going to say okay. The easiest way to get another one is to just hit this button over here, which is your duplicate button. You're just going to touch that and it makes a copy. With this one, don't use your finger because we don't want to move the one underneath it accidentally. So I'm just going to go straight to my move arrows. And I'm going to pull it down. Don't go outside your embroidery field. So Dana, who's the gal that works for us, is always such an inspiration. And anytime there's embellishments like this, she always stitches a ton of them and then she adds them into the quilt. And I always look at her stuff and go, I should have done that. So I'm going to show you how to add a third one. We're not going to stitch. We're only going to stitch these 2 right now. But if you wanted to add a third one, and then I'll have you save it and you can stitch it later if you want, you're going to say, okay, we're going to make a copy of this one. Okay, so hit your copy button. And then we're going to size it. I'm going to move him over here with my move arrows. And I'll just, I mean, he's going to be, go ahead. Did somebody have a question? You guys are good? Okay. I'm moving him over here. I'm going to size that one. Oh, and this is the other thing. In case you're having trouble seeing it, this is the only time I will change my background. So let's change our background color so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I'm sorry, I should have done it earlier. Let's go to your settings button. So if you were doing like a family reunion and you wanted to stitch a whole bunch of t-shirts on lime green, you could go in here and in your settings, let's go to the page. For me, it's page 9 of 13, but what you're looking for is embroidery background color. I'm going to go ahead and touch select, and you can choose any of these. So now you can look and see what your design is going to look like on a different background. So if we wanted to do, our fabric was going to be this blue, you can go ahead and choose that. Say, okay. I will change that back to white because I prefer seeing everything on the white. But when I have white, I'm doing a snowman, I'm doing snowflakes. It's nice to choose a background color where you can see those a little bit better. Okay? How'd we do? Does anyone need me to walk you through that again? And these classes are catered to the brother and the baby lock machines because that's what I sew on. So anyways, let's make that one smaller because he's not going to fit into this embroidery field. You could always go up to a bigger size hoop too. I'm going to say, okay, we know this is the one we're working with because it has the box around it. And I'm going to go to my size feature. So go ahead and hit your size button, or you're going to hit the button I just touched. This will increase and decrease your design about 20%. Stitch count does not change. So if you have 10,000 stitches, it's still going to be 10,000 stitches. This one will redigitize, and that's what I usually do when I'm sizing. So I'm going to touch that button right there. Is it okay to reset the pattern to its original size, angle, and position? Yes. It will put it back there to center. And now I'm going to hold this button down, and it will decrease it up to half or increase it up to double. And now you can really take advantage of your sizing feature. And I could take that one over here, and maybe I'll make him a little bit bigger.
Jeannie, why are you making 3? Just for an extra one, or?
Yeah, just because I can. We're not going to stitch this, but I wanted to give you, some people have brother and baby lock machines and they have this feature and they've never used it before. So I want to show you that you can take that snowflake. Look how big I can make it. I can double it in size. See how big you can make it too? You can't do that if you're using that feature right over here. You can only do that if you use this feature here, which redigitizes your stitches. All right. So I just want to show you that if you want it and you want to stitch a third one, you could go ahead and add that. You have a little spot right there and you could add it in there, but we're not going to stitch it right now. I just wanted to show you that you could do it. So since we're not going to be doing that guy, I'm going to throw him away in the trash can. We're only going to stitch 2 today. If we add that, that's going to add another, each one of these is going to take about 20 minutes. So we're not going to do that one. I just wanted to show you that sizing feature. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, to get out of here. And I'm going to throw that away in the trash can. And I'm just going to stitch these 2, and I am going to leave them snugged over there on the side. And that's just so you don't have to snug it over. You can stitch it just right in the middle of your stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and snug it over. That's all I wanted to show you. We're going to touch embroidery. And let's go. Okay. All right. That was it. We're just going to go ahead. We're not fast forwarding or doing anything else. So I'm just going to come over here. Am I threaded? I'm threaded. My hoop. Let me slide my hoop on fully. Whoop. Carriage is going to move, and we're going to hit start. We're going to be here for the next 37 minutes. So just stitch away. There is nothing else that we're going to be doing.
Jeannie, what stabilizer are you using?
What was that?
What stabilizer are you using?
I'm using 1 layer of this. I think it's either OESD or it is Kimberbell Dissolve Away, Wash Away. Any wash away will work. And then I'm using 1 layer of Badgemaster, which is made by OESD. I get it from there. If you do not have the Badgemaster, do 2 layers of Dissolve Away. Cindy said she was having issues with 2 layers. If you want to do 3, you could do 3. I did 2 layers with the other snowflakes and I was fine, but you never know. 3 could be safer than sorry, right?
Yes. You're using the 7 by 12?
No, this is the 5 by 7.
Okay, thank
It's
you.
the 5x7. I was able to put 2 in the 5x7.
Jeannie, it's Joanne. So you're using 2 layers of the dissolve away or the badgemaster and batting also?
No. There's no batting for this.
Okay, that's what I
We're
thought.
gonna-
Okay.
There will be batting. We will be doing. So the process for this, what we're doing today, where's my sample?
Okay.
First thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab my stuff so you can see it.
Okay.
We're gonna be stitching just the snowflakes.
Right. Okay, and then we'll wash away that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna stitch 2 snowflakes. And then hang on a second, I'm gonna switch over here too. So
Okay, I got it. Why is this not
so
coming?
we are stitching 2 snowflakes today. We're
Right.
gonna rinse them and then we're gonna let them dry.
Okay.
Then while they're drying, we're gonna do our filler blocks. And we're
Okay,
only gonna do
gotcha.
3. I'm gonna be stitching these in my 7x12 hoop. I'll do 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Very good. All right.
After those are done, then we'll go ahead and we will quilt. And here's our fabric. Then we're gonna quilt these just like we would filler blocks.
Okay.
So the
got
batting will be in this, and this will be on top. We'll do the quilting. And then finally, the last thing we'll do is once these are a little bit dry, I sewed mine on with the machine and a 9014 top stitch needle. We're just gonna sew these on top.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I wasn't sure too. I thought this part was going to be that the tacking down was going to be the same. Cindy, is that yours? Go ahead and rinse it.
I know. 4th time the charm. This one came
What's
out
that with
perfect.
the farm?
It came out perfect, and I used 3 layers of wash away, and I used my 4x4 hoop.
Yeah, you could do these one at a time in your 4x4 hoop. If you wanted to, you could do one at a time. They fit in the 5x7, so I just went ahead and I did 2 in my 5x7. Well, we have time for lots of questions if anyone needs anything. But if you're somebody that likes freestanding lace, I would for sure get some badgemaster. And I feel like badgemaster has changed my freestanding lace life. Just because it doesn't budge and it doesn't move like dissolve the way it will move sometimes when you're stitching.
Jeannie, it's Joanne. I used that badgemaster with Michelle when she did the key fobs, I think. It was really nice. But I just misplaced it at someplace in my sewing room.
Oh, I know. It's easy to misplace. So you could do the 2 or 3 layers of the dissolve away. Just make sure it's nice and taut and just stitch away.
That's what I'm doing. Okay.
I'm going to transfer my other designs while I'm stitching this out, so we're not going to have that issue again. And you're going to want a bowl. I brought one with me. Where is it? Here's my. There's my freestanding lace bowl. So I'm going to fill this up. Once we're done, I'll fill this up with warm water and I'm going to rinse it in my bowl and then I'll just throw it outside like in the parking lot. But don't do it in your sink. You don't want to do it in your sink. Anyone have any questions or need any help? The very first time I did this snowflake, I was like, oh, maybe one layer is going to be enough. It was awful. It perforated. Yeah, if there were holes in it, it wasn't enough to hold it. Did you find that you got holes in yours, Cindy, with the 2 layers? I feel like I did the other Kimberbell ones. I have to figure out what. Do you guys remember what that was? Oh, you know what it was? It was enchanted. It was. Hang on, let me grab mine. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, it was Let It Snow. And maybe they're on Enchanted too. So we had them here. These were much smaller. But I did these. I tried to do it with 1 layer and it was absolutely awful. Ultimate fail. And then I did it with 2 layers and they came out great. But these are bigger. They are bigger. So maybe 3 layers. What did it say in the instructions? Let's look. That was a Let It Snow pillow. So I'm going to look and let's see. Hopefully you were concentrating on something else. Yeah, it does say 2 layers. 2 layers, but maybe 3 would be better. Cindy had better success with 3 layers. But they're fun. And if you did them in different sizes, because I think this one, maybe this one called for, I can't remember if it called for 2 or 3. But I'm telling you, Dana always does extra embellishments and her stuff is always cuter. So stitch out some extras and then you can throw them on any project that you want to throw them on, right?
Jeannie, it's me,
Yes.
Susan. What's going on with your thumb?
With my phone?
Thumb.
I don't know. Is there something wrong?
You got a little brace on it.
Your thumb, Jeannie, your thumb.
Oh, am I muffly sounding? Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Okay. If I send it back at all this way,
Yeah.
oh my God, it hurts so bad. And then it has to pop back into place. And
Oh,
it's so painful.
It's like a little trigger finger.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I find
Yeah.
that the brace kind of keeps it straight. And one of Gail Rush was here and she showed me she had a different split. I bought one of those, but it wasn't sized right. So I found the one that I'm wearing right now, and oh my goodness, it I don't know.
Like
It's
night and
just
day?
overuse.
Yeah,
What
I
do
know.
you do? You need the thumb. I need this thumb. And I need it to work and
Yeah.
I need it to be
Remember
I
when
needed to
I just took the last class I took with you, I had hand surgery. Remember I had my hand was full of stitches.
what was it for?
I had carpal tunnel and Dupinger contracture, they called it, which was basically my ring finger on my right hand was sticking in like that, if you can see my hand.
Yeah.
And so I had surgery on both, and I am good to go.
Are you really? Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
I've
like
talked
night
to
and
people
day.
that have had their fingers taken care of and their thumbs and their hands. And so
Uh-huh.
I'm hopeful. And I go, if I'm going to have surgery, I'd rather have surgery and forego all the other stuff that hurts. I just like, the less I have to, I think I have PTSD from just going through treatment
Oh,
and
I
just being
suppose, yeah. Oh,
stuck
yeah,
and
I bet.
prodded and
Yeah.
I just don't want to go
Mhm.
anymore. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
So,
I was scared to go, but it was, they don't put you out, and it was, it was a good experience. So
yeah, but you
I'm,
know what? We need our
uh,
hands. Like everything we do, I mean, everyone needs their hands, right? But
yep,
everything I
exactly.
do,
Yeah.
it's with my
Yeah,
hands.
I had I have rheumatoid arthritis, and but I also have osteoarthritis, and my thumbs on both hands, the big joint there at the bottom down where it connects to your wrist, that hurt
Yeah.
so bad all the time. I had horrible pain, and I used to wear these little hand braces.
This is what hurts me here. Is this
That's
what
what
you're
I
talking
had.
about?
Yep, exactly right
Uh
there. Yep, terrible,
uh
Susan,
terrible. It hurt. Yeah.
this is Kim. My husband's
I
having
can't
that surgery in a couple of weeks. How long was your recovery?
For the Dupuytren's contracture and the carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
It was, well, I'm a nurse, so I only took off the day of my surgery, and then I was off the weekend, and I went back Monday.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it went really well. I mean, you'll realize you kind of baby it a little bit, but you're good. It's more the stitches bother you than anything. They kind of pull, but otherwise you're good.
how are you guys doing? How's it looking? Is it holding together? Are you guys okay? And if you need another piece of stabilizer, you could either float, if you didn't do 3, you could float one, or before we start the next one, you could add another one. Okay? So see how you do with the 2. If you're feeling like it's not enough, add another. I feel like I know that when I did the snowflakes for Let It Snow, I only did 2, but those were much smaller than these snowflakes. So maybe you need 3. Hi, Miss Gloria. I'm going to be using my spray tent. I'm going to be using my spray for the other ones. And while we're waiting, we can hoop up. We're going to be sitting for a while. So I thought about having you guys just stitch these on your own, but I was like, oh, we'll just sit and catch up. It'll be fine. So here is my 7x12. You can use I think it's set up for a 6x10, right? I just used the 7x12 because I was like, it's fine. But the filler blocks. I put some notes for myself. I have all these notes for myself to make sure that it is 2.5 by 6.5. So I did mine in my 7x12, and I'm going to put them in horizontally, and I'm going to do 3 at a time. If you want, you can do them in an 8x12 if you want to do multiples at a time. And what we're going to do, because if you watch my video, I don't want to say I had a fail, but when I put them in, I put them all in with the bow pattern. And then I realized that we needed two of them called for the Christmas 17. So I had to kind of go back and reload it and look at the lines on my screen just to kind of make it work. I have to do some problem solving. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch out 2 that are going to be with the reindeer. we're gonna stitch those two first on the top, and we're gonna load those, because you can group and you can duplicate it. And then we'll do the third one last, because that we're gonna have to change and put the bow design. And if you don't have that, you can just stitch out one at a time. You'll just stitch out one at a time, and if you want, you can stitch it in your 6x10, and you can do two at a time in your 6x10 this way, or you can do one at a time in your 5x7. But I'm going to be using this hoop. And here is my muslin. And then the last thing we're going to do is we will do we'll finish the snowflakes at the very end. Just keep stitching. I like to just roll this up and I'll clip it. If this is the 90-inch, if you don't like having this all on there, just cut it off. Or you can cut it down and cut it into two pieces and have 45-inch. So while you're waiting, you can get your 7x12 ready. I cut this to 11.5 inches, but 11 inches would be fine too. Does this, the freestanding lace makes my mama ears go crazy. Because I'm like, does that sound right? Hang on. That does not sound right to me. Hang on, I'm going to come on over here. Let me just check and see what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and cut and just make sure everything is okay. Check my thread. Thread is moving smoothly. Oh, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like I'm at the bottom of the bobbin and that the bobbin has twisted. You know how you get sometimes the very bottom of the bobbin, the thread will cross over and it won't feed out. So if you're hearing it, and yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but it's crossed over. So I'm just gonna get a new bobbin. Hang on just a second. Where did I put? Oh, here they are. Everything looks good though. We're just getting to the end. I was just getting to the end of the bobbin. I'm not even going to go back 10 stitches just because this is, you're not going to notice it. How's that sound? Okay, much better. Just keep stitching. Where are my magnets? Here they are. Oh no, Susan! I have a package going out to you. For me, I get the king code. And you can always go back and like finish things later. Yeah, freestanding lace takes up a lot of thread. Okay, I'm hooped and ready to go for that. And now it's next snowflake. I didn't color group, so it is waiting for a color change, or it's waiting for me to hit the start stop. If I had color grouped, it would have just gone on and stitched that one without stopping. Okay, let's stitch the second one. This is 28,000 stitches of just white. Hi, Michelle. You're gonna see they look pretty good. I don't think you'll have the issues, but adjust as you see fit. While we're doing this, we could also go ahead and group your pieces for the piecing of the piece border strips. So you're gonna put them in this order. This is what we're gonna be stitching in. You don't want to do it in that order. You could go ahead and stitch them any way you want, but it's set up to do let's see, we're gonna do it's red plaid. There's our red plaid. And then it's going to be this one, the red. I think that's called lattice, but I'm not positive. And then the mint green. So if you want to go ahead and put these and get these grouped up so they're ready to go, you can do that too. So we're going to be doing that one. Then this one is the dot. Do you have the large cones of fluff? I do. So the large cones, I want to say they're maybe $16.99, $15.99. And just know the pricing of Glide is going to be going up. Yeah, they sent me a note saying the pricing is going up. Okay, here we go. So you should have this one that has the snowflakes. I know it's hard to see, but this is snowflakes. Tone on tone. Snowflakes. The green, the red dot, that's going to be your next grouping right here. And then you have your green, the perforated, this is called pink perforated. I don't know why it's big. And then you have the candy canes. And I have an extra. We'll just throw that to the side. For your batting, you need 3 pieces that are going to be 2 inches by 6 inches. Okay? That's what you're going to need for these. So just kind of put those together, have those ready to go. Will you be carrying the Riley Lake Faraway Kingdom? Oh, guess what, Melissa? They are sold out and sold out. We had 6 extra kits and they are all gone. So yeah, they completely sold out of those as soon as they released. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you order it for me? No. Yeah, I filled my last. You know what happened? So, I ordered. They somehow they sent me 6 more, or they had it on my order, and I was like, I don't need those other 6 because, or maybe it was 12. Maybe it was 12 of them. I was like, I don't need those. I only sold this many. Can you cancel 6 of those? And then my rep said yes, and then forgot to cancel. They came, and I was like, thank God they came, because then we oversold, and then they were sold out. But yeah, I'll reach out to my rep and see if they have any more, but I'm pretty sure they sold out. Stephanie, you have yours done? Are you completely done, Stephanie? I saw you hold up your, you're done? You can rinse them out. How are you done? Were you stitching? Maybe you were stitching while I was like struggling to get my design up. So yeah, go ahead and rinse them out. So if you're done, rinse them out, get a, let's do them in a bowl of warm water. And mine were pretty slimy. And it was hard to kind of get the slime out in the very center. So just go ahead, get a warm bath and massage all of that ick out of there. So if you're done, go ahead and trim your stabilizer away. Just trim it away. You can just trim a circle around it, and then you're just gonna rinse it out in a bowl. Get all of that stabilizer out. Get a paper towel, pat them dry, and leave them to the side. And then we're gonna get ready to do the. We'll get ready to do the piece blocks. I have. Oh, geez. I still have quite a little ways to go. I have 12 more minutes. And I'm stitching at probably 900 stitches per minute right now. Stephanie, yours look good. What did you do 2 layers of dissolve way, or did you do 3? How are we doing for those of you who are on 2? How are you doing? Are you okay? Stephanie did 2. Anyone need help?
I did 2 layers and they came out just fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And Jeannie, I do have a quick question.
Works. If you feel like you need 3, do 3. If it's stitching out 2 and it's looking great, just stick with the 2.
I have a quick question. It's not pertains to this project, but I've got a unique cabinet coming that Patrick ordered for me. And I wondered, does it come with the clear filler thing, or do I need to order that on my own? That fits in around the machine.
What did you order?
A unique sewing cabinet.
And are you talking about the insert?
Yes.
It comes with it.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
I mean, it's not really an insert. What it's going to be is it's a piece of wood that fits around your machine, because your machine always stays at the same spot.
Okay.
So you'll get an extra piece that when you take off your embroidery arm, and it's to be used with your tray. Your accessory tray just fits right next to it, and then it makes it all one piece. Yeah, it'll come with it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I want to confirm with him, but because I'm not sure which cabinet you got, but mine just came with it.
Okay.
I had to think about it for a minute.
Thank you.
And you guys can see with mine, with my layer badgemaster and my dissolve boy, there's a little bit of pulling, but not much. And yours might not be as slimy when you rinse it away if you're just using the 2 layers of dissolve away. The badgemaster is thicker and slimier. Do you like that? While you're stitching, I know they say to just use cold water. I always use warm or even hot water. I feel like it gets rid of that. I feel like it works better, but that could just be my imagination. I'm gonna go heat up my water, make sure it's nice and hot. All right, I'm back. That took like at home, it took maybe like a minute for the water in my bathroom to get hot. That was literally like 10 seconds and it was like super hot. So I think I'm good. I'll go back in there when I'm like, when I cut away my stabilizer. Okay, I've got 7 more minutes of stitching. So when you rinse them, make sure that you kind of pull out the little arms. So I found that mine wanted to like go to the side and curl in different ways. So after I rinsed them, I kind of like pulled each one outward and just make sure they were spaced and that they looked right. Don't just dry them and throw them to the side. You want to take a look at them. Like even this one's a little bit to the side a little bit. But you just want to kind of manipulate them a little bit, make sure that they lay out and that they look nice and straight. And it is amazing. I don't know, like remember as a kid when you're like looking at snowflakes in your hand and just being amazed at how perfect they are? I'm still amazed by that. Just keep stitching. No, what time? 1 in the morning. They're sleep 1:15. You're probably still up. Did you feel it? I did. I felt it where I live. Yeah, because it's right the same place. Silver Spring? Yeah. Wow. Lori was just sharing with me that there was an earthquake this morning at like 1 something. And I was in bed, I didn't feel anything.
I wonder if that's what woke me up this morning at 1 o'clock.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
She say where
I guess
that?
It was in Silver Springs. It was like a 5.0.
Silver Springs?
Silver Springs is probably what, like 45 minutes from here, 40 minutes?
Like going down the gate.
Is it like half an hour?
Yeah.
It's like near Dayton.
Taken from in that area, that way.
Did we have a little storm or was that it?
Oh, we have none before. I was trying to find out because I have lake lights and it's everything. Yeah, they're usually. I don't know why that whole 115 voltage it's a 4.2. Then they had a 5.0.
Oh, a 4.2 and then a 5.0.
That was a 115 and 117.
Which I always say, Patrick, like, don't say that. But as long as it's not like devastating and there's no damage, I always find earthquakes super exciting. But I mean, I don't want a big one. And growing up in Connecticut, I mean, nothing happens in Connecticut.
This is how many.
We're in Connecticut, we have like I didn't live right on the coast, so we did have hurricanes. nor'easters. But and thank God, right? You don't want any of that other stuff. All right. Wait, my upper thread. Hang on. Let me see what's going on. It's telling me my upper thread, so maybe my upper thread broke. And don't forget, you're going through all these layers. So that might happen. It's going through all these layers and it has to there's friction if it gets a nick. And again, I'm not going back any stitches when I'm doing this. You don't need it. Looking good. I've got 4 more minutes, guys. And if you're done, just trim a circle around your snowflake and go rinse them off. I would not recommend rinsing them directly in your sink. This stuff's like Elmer's glue. Oh my God, Stephanie, I'm so sorry you're waiting. So I did not realize that when if you put your designs on a USB and you put it into your machine, and even if it's a design that your machine won't read, the Baby Lucky Brother machines, you can just pull up the PDF. It won't even show the other ones. So I thought with design database transfer, I could do the same thing, and that's why the blue arrow, because I had designs that weren't PDF. I just highlighted the whole group of it and tried to send it over, and that's why I didn't get that blue arrow that goes down.
Jeannie, I had started both of mine early because I usually stitch when there's 2 blocks. I'll always stitch both of them at the same time. And a lot of times you just do one of the 2. So I wanted to get both of them. So that's why I started it early, was because I didn't know you were going to do both of them. So I was just trying to be ahead of the game so I wouldn't fall behind if you only did one. So that's why I was done early.
Do that from now on. What I've always wanted to do is have the pre-recorded for Minky, and then one of like half of the Timberbell fabric. Would you guys prefer that we just did that I put the pre-recorded of the Minky and then we just stitch all of the Timberbell in class? We can start doing that. How many of you would just like to do that? Should we just start doing that? I just always want to have the pre-recordeds ready for you on the 1st. But if you guys are good with that, why don't we just start doing that, and we'll stitch out everything. We'll stitch out everything in class. Yay or nay? All in favor of stitching both blocks in the sew along on sew along day, just give me a thumbs up. That's Miss Stephanie and Miss Kim and Cindy saying yes to that, and Cheryl. And okay, it looks like most of you are saying yes to that. All right, let's do that. That does mean you will not have a pre. Oh, there's lots of thumbs up. I've been making you guys suffer. Okay, I'm so sorry. I thought I was helping you. So we'll do that from now on. So just plan on from now on, your pre-recorded version is going to be what I do with Scan and Cut and whatever other fabric. So right now it's the Love and Share. And then we will begin stitching both the Timberbell fabrics. We'll do both blocks in our sew along from now on. Hang on. You thread her up. We're getting finicky here. What are we on? I've got 1 more minute. I have about 800 stitches more. If your thread breaks, don't worry. You're going through a lot of stitching. Just re-thread and start again. And if it doesn't sound great, that's okay too, but pay attention. Just pay attention. You should be hooped up and ready to go. We're going to go straight into doing our filler block. The fabric should be hooped and ready to go. That doesn't sound right. Hang on. Let me go. I'm gonna let me take a peek under here. What's happening? You know, I did something thick underneath that one side. Let me just check. And this can be tough. Oh, it did get thick in that one spot for some reason. Hang on. It's so thick, I'm actually gonna just cut a little bit of that away. Where are my snips? And I'm gonna rethread the upper. Rule of thumb is if it looks bad on the bottom side, it's something in the upper area. If it looks bad on the upper side, it's something in the bobbin. It's opposite what you think it is. I'm gonna give him a little floss too. And then rethread the upper totally. Let's see. Okay, I think we're back in business. All right, that's it. Let's go ahead and take it off the machine. And I did just keep it on the roll. You do not have to do that. That's just me. But this is all we needed. It's just this little area right here, and that just saves you all of that stabilizer. And honestly, I just can't help myself at this point. So I'm not gonna hide from you my hoarding and my saving of my stabilizer. I have stopped sewing it together. I did do that too back in the day. I don't do that anymore. I don't have time. Just throw it away. Okay. You're just going to trim this away. And we're going to rinse it. Really? I feel like the badgemaster is pretty slimy. So is the dissolve way, that the badgemaster is a little bit thicker.
Is Tina Case on your live stream?
Case?
Yeah, Tina Case.
Tina Case. I don't think so. Are you here? I don't see. Why?
She ordered the CNADS S1.
Yep.
But I was trying to make sure
You didn't want
I wanted to make sure
CNADS too?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to do this. I can't help myself. I just want less slime. All right, I'm gonna go get my bowl of water, and then we're gonna rinse this away.
This
I will
went
be
so-
right back.
So
What was
fast.
that?
It went so fast. It came out so quick and no slime.
Yeah, and you didn't have any slime. If you're using badgemaster, you're gonna have slime. This morning when I packed most of my stuff the other day after I stitched, but this morning I was like, I'm just gonna drop these in the bowl. And I was like, what do I have to bring for today? And And I was just walking through the project and I was like, oh, I better remember to bring, I want paper towels here, but I was like, I want my paper towels from home. I brought some paper towels with me and I'm going to move this out of the way. I just like to have some paper towels too, that I can pat them dry. And you can see most of it will just come out. Does anyone use just cold water? I feel like it doesn't come off as well. Cindy, you don't? Do you always use warm water? I always use warm or hot. And I swear it comes off way easier with warm and hot. My water is pretty stinking slimy. But I think that just has to do with the badgemaster. Okay. So just give it a little massage. Just pick it up, make sure most of it's off of there. There's going to be some stray threads. You're going to want to clip those. Whether you do it now or later is up to you. And there is a right and a wrong side to your snowflakes. The wrong side is going to be a little flatter, and the right side is going to be a little bit more rounded. I think that's so strange that I got a little nesting too, Cindy, on the very end. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
It just got a little thick on one of the little legs or arms. Rinse it, massage it. And you can see, like, I have a little bit of slime, so.
When I didn't use the badgemaster, they both came out perfect.
Ah, did you hear that? So, and I know Stephanie said hers came out perfect, and was that Kim that showed me hers? So maybe it's the badgemaster. Maybe you don't want the badgemaster.
But I've made a whole bunch of reusable washcloths or towels or whatever out of all old cheap flannel that I have. And I dry mine with those, and then I bring them in to my sewing room and I put them between two of those and I use the iron, and mine are almost totally dry now.
So maybe you guys don't. So everyone, for those of you that just did 2 layers of dissolve oil, was it perfect and you didn't have any issues? So maybe that's what we should do, and maybe I'll take that out of the supply list. I really thought that the badgemaster would keep it more in place, and mine worked out fine. But maybe you just want to do the 2 layers of dissolve away. If nobody's having any issues, do the 2 layers of dissolve away, and I'll change that in the supply list. I'll send out a little note.
Jeannie, I used 2 layers of wash away and it came out perfect.
Okay. Judika said she used badgemaster and hers were perfect. So I think you can go either, but if you don't have to use the badgemaster, I say don't use it. Don't use, if your 2 are coming out perfect, just use the 2 layers of wash away. Because badgemaster, it's heavier, it's thicker, maybe it's rougher on the machine. So this was good. That it's kind of like the other day I went so go ahead and don't forget to pull on the little arms of it. Just make sure they're nice and straight. And then I say if the 2 layers worked great, go the 2 layers of dissolve way. So I'll change that in supply list. I'll send a note out and say people with 2 layers of dissolve way had perfect snowflakes, because that's going to be less rough on the machine too. All right, you're going to put these to the side. They're going to dry. We are going to sew them down. We'll sew them down to the blocks that we're going to be doing later on. Grab your hoop. It should be ready to go. And let's go ahead and let's go to the machine. We're going to go ahead and slide on whatever hoop you're using, whether you're using the 7x12, the 8x12, the 6x10, whatever works, or if you're doing a different machine other than the brothers, that is totally fine too. I love them all. All right. I'm going to show you how to group on your machine for those of you that have that feature. If you don't, you're just going to do one at a time, and that's fine too, okay? All right. Let's look at our instructions. What I'm going to do though is I am going to put in, I am going to load the reindeer first. So we're going to start with, if you look over here in your instructions, that was my reminder. So 2 of these they want Christmas 17, and that is going to be the design that has the little reindeer. Okay. So we're going to do those 2 first because they're the same quilting design. So we can duplicate, we can load it, and then we can duplicate that pattern and not have to load it twice. So that is going to be block 11 and block 14. So block 11 and block 14 are these 2. So grab those 2 groupings of fabric. So it's the one without the plaid is what you want. I want the one without the plaid. So here's 1 grouping and here is 2 groupings. And do I have these right? Here's 1 grouping right here. This one is 11 with the snowflake, the green, and then the dot. And then this is the other one that has the green, the pink perforated, and then the candy canes. Those are the ones that we're doing first. Okay, let's do those. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to load the quilting design first. If you watch my video, I was like, why? Like everything that's good stuff in there because it might be features you haven't used before, but it was all part of my problem solving. I'm going to get rid of this first of all. I prefer the white background. I only do this with the snowflakes. I'm going to go into my settings. I'm going to go on the page that has embroidery background color, and I'm going to change this back to white. And you might like it. I know somebody who has their set to like a light blue and somebody that has their set to like a light yellow. So you can do whatever one you want. I'm also going to choose my hoop size, and I'm going to change mine to 5 by 7. So go ahead and choose whatever, or 7 by 12. I want you to choose whatever hoop size you're working with so you know exactly how much room you have. Oh, and I should have gone home, but I'm going to delete these. Oh, you know why I can't delete it? I'm in my layout page. So I'm going to hit return, and this is my main edit page. Red box means it's selected, and I can hit the trash can. Easier thing for me to do is I could have just gone to the home button, and that clears your screen, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. Whoever came up with that, that's awful. I almost hit a cat last night. Oh my goodness. I was going fast, and if you're from Reno, I was driving on McCarran going home late at night, and the cat ran out in the top of Colin on Casio, and I thought it was a raccoon at first because it was the same colors, but it was not. It was a cat, and thank God I had enough time to slow down. I would have I've never hit an animal like that. I've gotten like a mouse or something, maybe a squirrel. That's not a good feeling either. Okay, so we have our piece block. You also need your we're going to do the reindeer one. Hang on, I send it over because I was having that issue. So let me see if this is it. Nope. Give me just 1 second, guys. Sorry. Sorry. EXP, we want this. Oh, you know what? I figured it out. They're in green. Now I know. Okay. Now I know. I learned that too. The PES designs in your design database transfers show up in green. Okay, we're ready. Let me get back out of here. I'm going to go back in again. That'll refresh everything for me. And this is where I go for design database transfer. And what we're going to load first is your quilting design. So put in your quilting design. We're doing the reindeer. It should be 2 by 6. You can confirm the size. You're going to hit set, and then we're going to add. Leave it right there. We're going to hit add. And we're going to put the quilting design. Set. If you do not have the grouping button, then what I would do, I'm going to show you two different ways, okay? Because not everybody has a grouping button. This is the grouping button down here. It looks like 3 buttons, but it's really one. It has the square, the circle, and the triangle. If you do not have that button, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and just touch embroidery. So it groups it. And then you're going to go layout, rotate, and like move it wherever you want to move it, okay? And then you'd move it up to the top of the page. And just stitch one at a time, or wherever you want to move it on your screen. If you do have the grouping button though, what you're going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and you're going to, in this screen, your main edit screen, what you're going to do, because it won't have moved like that, I'm going to go edit, move. Okay. That's what it looks like. If you have the grouping button, you are going to go ahead and hit the grouping button. And you're going to hit where it makes it pink. And that's going to put those 2 designs and make them as one. So when we move it in your edit screen, it'll move as one design. That's why a lot of times when we're stitching together, I have you go to the layout screen and move it because it'll combine it. Because what we just did is we combined those 2 designs. Okay? We're going to move this up to the top. So you're going to just go to your move arrows and you're going to see a lot of things has grayed out. So if you combine in your edit page, there's things that you can't do. We're going to go to move keys and we're going to move it up. But pay attention on the edit screen. It'll let you move that straight outside of your embroidery field. See how we can go all the way up? So you're going to have to pay attention and just move it to the top. And we're just going to stitch these top 2. And I'm going to make sure I'm right underneath the line. I'm going to say, okay. Guess what? We don't have to reload everything. We can hit our duplicate button of a group design. So I'm going to go ahead and touch that. Don't move it with your finger. Go to your move arrows. Hit your center button. Now it's in line, and we're going to scoot it up a little bit. I'm going to scoot it up just so the end of it is in my little crosshair, like right above it, just like that. Okay? And we're just going to stitch those 2 first. And then we'll come back and we'll do the one with the bows. You guys okay with this? Let's go ahead and stitch it. Oh, you have a question, Kim?
I'm using a luminaire and I got lost here trying to group it.
Okay, let me go back. Did you, let's just do it one more time because that might have been fast for you guys. So if you're on the luminaire, you're on the Solaris, you're on the Dream Machine, you can, not the Dream Machine, I'm sorry. Does the Dream Machine have a grouping option? I don't think it does. But what you need is to group, you need this button down here that has the square, the circle, and the triangle. I'm going to go home. Okay, first design you're going to bring in is the reindeer.
Okay.
Set it. Okay. Next design you're going to bring in, you're just going to hit add. You're going to bring in the piece block. And the order does make a difference. Piece block. We can group it right now. So you ready to group? You're just going to hit this down here. That grouping button, and it's the one that makes it all pink. Now we're grouped. How do you ungroup? Touch this one. Now we're ungrouped. Okay, but we want to group.
Okay.
You're going to say okay.
Do I set?
What was that?
Do I set the piece part also?
Yes, you have to hit set. That's what brings it in.
Okay.
Setting brings it in and says, I'm going to stitch you. The set is your I do button. I do to stitching. Okay, so you have them both in, one on top of the other, Kim?
I do, and I have the thing where it says multiple selection. And
well, do you have a button that just looks like this? That has the square, the circle, and the triangle?
I did, and I hit it, and then I got to the screen that you had that had the pink blocks on the one side and the other.
Just touch the pink blocks. Just hit that.
Oh.
And everything should, are they pink now?
They're pink. So I said, oh.
Okay, you're grouped. Just say okay. And now those two, and what that means is these are going to be considered one design. It'll move as one design. You can make a copy as one design.
Okay,
So now I want you to go edit. We're going to rotate. If you're using the same hoop as me, if you want to stitch it just like that, you can. If you're doing the 6x10, I would just move it in the top left corner, and then I would make a copy and move it in the top right corner. Depends on the hoop you're using.
Jeannie?
For me, yes.
I'm on a Luminaire and it won't let me rotate.
Won't let me rotate either.
Won't either.
Okay, if you are on a Luminaire and it won't let you rotate, then you're going to have to rotate before you group.
Okay.
So what you're going to do, are you guys ready? You're going to hit the grouping button again. You're going to ungroup.
Jeannie,
That's just hitting.
if
You're going to
you-
hit that.
If you
What
go
was
into
that?
embroidery, it will
Excuse
let
me?
if you're grouped and you go into embroidery, it will let you rotate it in embroidery.
As group.
Yeah, so you'll have to go into the other screen, but I'm going to show you how to do it in the main edit screen. Okay? So go ahead and ungroup. Say okay. Okay, so that might be a feature that's just in the Avenir. Now they're two separate designs. Hit your rotate button. Go ahead and rotate 90 degrees to the left so we all have them rotated the same way. Touch the other one. Rotate that 90 degrees, and now you're in the orientation that you want. You could do what Cindy said too. You can go into the layout page. You could rotate it there, but you have to come back into this page to do the duplicate. Okay? So I'm going to say okay. Group them. And maybe it's only something you could do on Avenir. You're going to group, make them pink, say okay, and move it up.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Does it let you duplicate on the Luminaire? So once you're done with that,
No.
you have it. Does it let you do this?
Nope.
Yes.
Okay. So now we know that's a limitation. We know that you can do it in the Avenir and you can't do it in the Luminaire. So you can do some more things in the Avenir. That's okay. We're going to just stitch one at a time. We're going to stitch it. We'll go back into the screen and then we'll add it because you definitely want to be able to leave it up for the spacing. So we'll stitch one at a time. Not a big deal. Let's go ahead and we're just going to touch embroidery. All right. Go ahead and we're going to just do the placement stitch for your batting. So we're going to do steps. It is step what? 1. Placement stitch for our batting, and let's go ahead and do that first. And then we're going to go to the template. So we're going to do step 1. Oh, sorry. I'm going to put in a color you can see. Let me grab my pine. I'm just going to grab this thread right here. For this, because we are doing the quilting stitch last, we're going to do the placement stitch for the batting, and then we're going to skip to the template stitch. Avenir people, you can make a copy. You can do that and then make a copy. It's good for me to be stitching with all of you because then I can see what is on each machine. I couldn't remember what was on the Luminaire. Okay, this is placement stitch for your batting. I'm not going to restart because it's just showing me where to put my fabric down. Going to grab my spray tent and my Ganol KK100. This is what I like to use. Which one's the first one? We're going to grab this fabric first right here. Okay? The one with the white. So let's do the bunch that has the white. Wrong side of your batting. And then let's spray all of these. Wrong side. If you have an icky thread like that green one, get it off of there. That will shadow through. And if you want to do, some of you are using glue. Some of you like to just put it down without anything. Some of you like to tape, whatever is your choice.
Did you
Use
group it, Jeannie? I'm sorry.
I did group it.
Okay,
Did I group that? But it doesn't matter. Once you go to the stitch out place, it groups. So if you didn't group, you're fine. It's going to group in there no matter what machine you have, okay? Okay, you do have to have your batting down. And I want you to get your spatula and we're going to go nice and slow. So it's going to do the template on top of the batting. Whoop, sorry. Sorry. Spatula. I usually cut mine a little bit bigger than the 2x6. Mine's usually like 1/8 of an inch bigger. I'm going to slide that on.
What color are you using? I'm sorry.
What was that?
What color are you using?
Oh, I mean, this is
something.
I just grabbed a thread. The color right now doesn't make a difference.
Matter. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to do anything too dark because you don't want it to shadow through on those edges. But over here, we're going to go, I want you to be stitching for this next part because we're going to be skipping some steps right here where you go plus minus stitches. So go ahead and hit that button. We're skipping this. This is the tack down for the batting and the trim. This is the background fabric. We don't have any background fabric. That's going to come later. This is the tack down for the background. You guys are skipping right to the, skip this. The quilting's going to be at the very end. You're skipping right to the template. So if you combined your designs, it's step 6 of 11. You should be seeing the template, okay? Here we go. You got to be careful. The foot is going to want to scoop coming over here on the corner, going up and then coming across. So have your spatula and keep your finger on the start stop button for this. And I'm just going to make sure that, and don't put your spatula under your needle. When it gets here to the end, I'm going to stop it because it's going to want to scoop that. I'm going to put my foot up and make sure it goes down and put my foot down. And we're going to go down on this, okay? If you're scared, just stitch slow. Hold your start stop button just to make sure it doesn't scoop anything. And then we're going to go across. I just want to make sure it's like on the fabric and not trying to push the fabric, and then I'll let go. Okay, I'm going to let him go. I'm going to stop it right at the corner. I'm just going to make sure he's on top of it nice and slow. I'm going to go all the way up, let go. When it gets over here, it's going to want to come across to do the template part. And so I want you to just watch it. Make sure that your foot doesn't go underneath your back. I'm going to go really slow for this. I want you to see this so you're not surprised. There, do you see how it comes across? That's where you don't want it to catch, and everything else should be okay. Now it's going to go around the outside, so you should be fine, but I want you to watch it. Keep your finger on your start stop button for this. And now it's going to just go around the perimeter. But you're going to do some start stop. You're going to keep your spatula. You're going to make sure nothing gets scooped. Okay, we're ready to do our piece for our piece block. I'm going to wait until you guys have that done. Just take your time with it. If that's too scary, cut your batting pieces bigger and go ahead and do the tack down on the trim. And then it'll be tacked down. It's not going to scoop at all. Are we good? How are we doing? Excellent. Just take your time. I can't tell you how much this button makes a difference. Just holding it down and going really slow in those sections that you're not sure. All right. If you rotated it 90 degrees to the left, you're going to have a 1, a 2, and a 3. So your 1's going to be over here. If you're up and down and you didn't change your orientation, number 1's going to be at the bottom. So you either have it like this or you have it tilted. If you rotate it to the right, your one's going to be all the way to the left. So hopefully it's not too confusing. All right, I know mine's going to be here. Number one is going to be my white fabric. So I'm going to grab my white fabric first. Have it be taller this way. You want it to be taller this way, not this way. I guess it doesn't make a difference because as long as you're covering that, but you'll have more room this way, okay? I want you to line it up with your needle and scoot it over 1/4 inch. It's going to do a trim line tack down, but you got to look on this side too and make sure you're covering over the rightmost placement line, okay? And just put it down. First roll of stitching it's going to do. And I wanted you to see that, so I did put in my, I put in a brighter thread. I would put your white thread back in or something that's going to be really neutral. I mean, it's going to be a flip and fold, but still, I don't want you to see a dark color in the seam. So I'm going to put my white back in, and that's what it calls for in the instructions. You'll see white in the seam, but barely.
My number one shows it's the red fabric.
Your what?
My number one shows it's the red fabric.
Can you show that it's going to the left?
Uh-huh.
That's because I rotated 90 degrees to the left. You must have rotated 90 degrees to the right. So that's okay. You're just going to start over here.
I have the reindeer on the right.
But your piecing block, you rotated to the right.
Uh-huh. And I'm looking at the picture, and in the picture, it has the little reindeer in the red block.
What you're saying. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Cindy's
Yeah.
right. Cindy's right. Okay. Look at where you have your, thank you, Cindy. See how the reindeer's here on the right? I do, and what Cindy's saying is if you look at your picture here, the reindeer is in the red block. Got it. Yeah. Put your red one down first. Thank you, Cindy. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even catch that. Okay. Make sure your edge is in line with your needle. Scoot it over a little bit. And lay it down and make sure that this is covering your line all the way on the right. And the reindeer will be in here. Thank you, Miss Cindy. All right, it's going to do your trim line. Just go ahead and stitch. And you want to get your snips, and you're going to trim everything to the left of the trim line. Where are my Timberbell snips? Thought I dropped them in my bag this morning. Those are my favorite. I don't know where they are. And we had another pair. I've opened up so many. So I'm just going to use, what are these? I'm going to use my Havels. I think these are Havels. All right, everything to the left. And if it's just a little bit, you don't have to trim it, but I'm going to lift this up. Trim this away. Thank you, Cindy, for catching that. Here we go. Next one. That trim line is now your placement line. So we're going to grab our green fabric. It is sprayed on one side. Is this my sticky side? You want the sticky side up. So you're going to lay it down and you're going to center it to that stitch that it just stitched. And you want to hold it down where it's going to stitch and in the end, because if you do not, and you've sprayed, the fabric will stick to the bottom of your foot and move around. Once you have it tacked down there, you can let go. And I'm going to fold it over. You could be using a glue stick, whatever you want to use. Fold it over. Give it a nice aggressive fingernail press. Mine has adhesive on it, so I can just lay it down and it'll stay nice and crisp. Some people like to take it out and give it a little press. You can do whatever makes your heart happy. Go ahead. You're going to do your next trim line. So do your trim line and then you're going to trim to the left. Trim everything to the left of the line. I feel like these blades are so little. Okay, that trim line is the replacement line. You're going to grab your snowflake piece of fabric, the white, lay it down right side down, sticky side up. And I would recommend anytime you have a little bit of a dark fabric shadowing through or showing, you're going to take your fabric and just cover that. And then it won't shadow through. So if I have like dark on dark, I don't care. But if I have light under dark, I'm going to take my fabric and just pull it right over. And that way it will not shadow through. Again, this is sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it down in the beginning. And I'm going to hold it down on the back. Once it tacks down in the beginning, you can let it go. But don't let go in the back until it gets close. Flip and fold. We're going to fold this over. You're going to give it a nice aggressive fingernail press. Mine's sprayed so it'll stay down. If you're not spraying, tape it down. Hold it down. Do something. You don't want it to be sloppy. And then it's going to do an outline stitch. And then you decide what you want to do for your quilting stitch. And we're going to do the quilting stitch next. This is your trim line. Oops. This is the line that you're going to trim to. However, I never trim right on the line. I always fussy cut to that because I never find this line to be completely accurate. So the book recommends that you use white to do your stitching. Is it white or is it linen? It's white. I'm going to be using, I brought my Hala shimmer with me, and I think I'm going to use silver. So I'm going to be using this one. Here we go. Look at your screen. It's not showing you a quilting stitch. We've got to go back. So when you piece in the hoop and you add the quilting stitch at the end, you have to use your, you've got to go backward to your quilting stitch. Because it allows you to put it on the top. Finish embroidering. Woo. Great. This is what it's showing me on my screen. How do you get back to it? I know it's going to be the green stitch in here, so I can just touch it anywhere in there. You can see over here, it's showing you the quilting stitch, but I don't know where within this I am. This goes forward to the next color. This goes to the beginning of the color that you're in. It's still showing me the quilting stitch, so I'm at the very beginning of that quilting stitch. If you want, you could just arrow through as well until it shows you the quilting stitch in your preview window. So I know I'm in there. I'm going to go ahead and stitch. Does anyone need help? If you need help, I'm here for you. So cute. Oh my God. This silver hollow shimmer is so cute because it has a, I mean, it shows some other colors in it. They're really subtle. Okay, let's do the next one. You guys ready? How many of you have never used your camera button? Hopefully you've used it. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go. And the other thing you could do, we're just going to move this down, but I want to make sure this doesn't overlap with what we've just stitched. So I'm going to use my camera and just take a picture and then we'll place. What if you don't have a camera? You can just scoot it down and you can, I rarely ever use the grids, but you could put the grids up and just scoot it down. We can go in here. We can go to our grids. And you could do your 1-inch grid or whatever size you want to do. And then you could remember where that one is and just scoot it down a little bit beyond that. I'm going to get, I never use I rarely use the grids because I feel like they're pretty busy. I know that if I move this down to like the top of the little cross part, that he should be good too. But if you guys have a camera, we're just I think it looks like you guys are still watching. I'll just give you another minute and stitch. There we go. Isn't that adorable? So cute. Cindy, thank you so much for putting out the red. I think everyone appreciates. Does anyone need any help? Lila looks like Miss Joanne, Miss Wanda, Miss Cindy.
I'm okay. I've just fallen behind, so I'm gonna rewatch when you post it.
Speaking. Anyone? You need to let me know. We're going to use some features on the machine. So when I did this, I just made a copy and then I just added it and then I just spaced it. And I did all four all at once. That's going to be in the video and I did it all with the same design. I just don't want to leave. It looks like a lot of you are still stitching. So I want to just wait for you if you are still stitching. Miss Cindy, are you good? Excellent. Miss Stephanie? You're good? How about Miss Carolyn? You're good? Okay. Okay, if you guys are good, let's go on. Let's just take a picture and then we're just going to take this and drag it down to make sure we're not stitching on top of the other one. So you can take a picture on the Avenir and I think the Luminaire too, you can do it in your layout screen and you can do it in your regular edit screen. So let's just take a picture, hit scan. Oh, you know why I can't do it? A lot Did you see me just trying? I was trying to muscle my way through. 0, you go down here. You can go forward and backward stitches and just hit 0. Now we're at the very beginning. Okay. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to hit my camera button and I'm going to hit scan. Some of the machines, you just hit the camera button. Some of them you have to hit the word scan. It's just going to move the whole hoop. And then we'll just take the design and move it down and just make sure it's not overlapping. And there's other things we could do. We could go back to the other screen and just load it there. But you have a camera, you might as well use it. If you're just doing 3 of these, you could have just dragged it down. There's my design. I'm going to close this. I'm just going to go layout, my move arrows or the word move, and I'm just going to pull the design down. I am in my whatchamacallit screen, the layout screen. So they're combined. And I can move it up if I want to conserve. Or I could just put it right in the center. You know, you'll have plenty of room. So if you don't have a camera, you could just put it right in the center if you're using this big hoop. Lots of different things you can do. I could use this button right here to go, where's my top leftmost point, and make sure that it's not hitting. So you could go completely old school, that most of the machines have this. I can go my top rightmost point, and then I know where it's going to go, so I know that it's not going to hit my fabric. So lots of different things you can do. Is there anybody that needs my help and wants me to show them how to place the second design, depending on what features you have on your machine? Are we good? We're good? Okay. I'm going to move him up just a little bit because I can, because there's room. I can see where it's going to stitch. And we're just going to repeat the next process. You can go to this button here where you could go forward and backward stitches. And we're going to do first placement stitch for the batting. Let's go ahead and stitch. Same thing that we just did. And if we're at the end and you guys want me to demo anything, just let me know. Oh, I'm just leaving. Oh, you know what? I have my hollow shimmer. I don't want to leave that in. Let me go ahead and I'm just going to put in, you guys know what we're doing now. So hang on. Put down, cut. Put in a regular thread. You only want to use this stuff when you, it's kind of like high heels. You only want to wear them when you gotta. Other than that, we're going to just put in our regular soft slippers. I'll put this in so it's a color you can see. Same thing. Pay attention to your little diagram like Cindy was doing, where she helped us from going astray. So for the next one, it looks like the reindeer is, well, I can't even see on my, is that the bell? So the reindeer is going to be in the green. So that's what we're going to lay down. So go ahead and you can spray all of this. How are we doing? Anyone need help? Anyone have any questions? I don't know why that piece is so big. He is, though. I must have just miscut. Spray the back side. You're never spraying the right side of your fabric, ever. Well, maybe there might be some instance in life where you have to do it. For the most part, you're not going to. And how did you guys do stitching out your template? Did you do okay? Just using your start stop button and going really, really slowly? And if that feels like too risky for you, cut your batting bigger. You're going to cut your batting bigger and you're just going to do the tack down and the trim. All right, fast forward. We're going to fast forward to the template. We want the template. So, and you could do it this way, just going fast forward this way. I could touch in here. I know it's going to be this, the dark right there. But I'm going to fast forward until you see the template in your preview. Okay. and then let's go ahead and stitch out the template. Again, you know it's going to be risky right over here on the corners and where it wants to stitch across. So I'm going to go and hold it down when we're doing this. I'll let him go. I'm going to stop right there and just make sure it doesn't go off. So I do a combination of start, stop, spatula. Just be prepared in the risky sections coming across right here. That one can be scary. Okay, and then I think it's pretty good. I don't think you have to watch too carefully. Those are the spots. Okay, first piece you're going to lay down is going to be the candy cane, the green candy cane, right? Yes. Line it up with your needle, scoot it over just about 1/4 of an inch. Make sure you have an equal amount of fabric, top and bottom, and that you're beyond the little edge there. The outline stitch, the template stitch. And it is going to do your trim line. Go ahead and do your trim line, and then you're going to trim to the left of that. This piece goes sticky side down. It's the only one. The other ones are all going to go right side down, stitch 1/4 inch and flip and fold. Right side down, stitch your 1/4 inch and flip and fold. Okay. So, but this one's right side up. The very first piece is right side up. You're going to trim right to the left. So go ahead and push this up, and we're going to trim away the fabric to the left. Da, da, da. There we go. Next one is your perforated, and it wants your stripes to go up and down, okay? We're putting this right side down, sticky side up. Line it up with the trim line, which is now your placement line. And don't forget, hold it where it starts stitching and where at the very end. Once your stitch is locked right here in the beginning, you can let go there, but don't let go at the end. And you're going to fold it over so the pretty side is up. A nice aggressive fingernail fold, and press this. And remember, I don't know why my piece is like monster size. All right, we're going to do your trim line. This is my monster size piece, and that's why it looks like that. Oh, I left my thread in there. That's okay. I forgot to switch it out, but it's fine. Okay, that's your trim line. Go ahead and trim this away. After you trim it, it becomes your placement line. Now this is your placement line. You're going to grab your last piece of fabric, which is the green. I have sticky side up. This one doesn't have a right or a wrong side, but you won't want the wrong side up because you're going to stitch your 1/4 inch and then you're going to fold it over. Okay, Hold it down in the beginning. Let it do the tack down. This is your 1/4 inch. That's your 1/4 inch seam allowance that I just sewed for you. And then you're going to fold it over. And then you're going to do the outline stitch, and then we'll do the quilting. So this is your outline stitch that you're going to fussy cut to. And the last thing we have to do is we have to go back and do the quilting stitch. So I know it's telling you you're done, but we are not done. We're going to go here and say okay to that. And then you have your stitching on the very top. We want to do the quilting stitch. So right here, I'm at the very beginning. I can just fast forward it to it using my arrows. And you're just going to be looking at your preview window until you see the reindeer quilting stitch. There we go. What thread? What thread? What thread? I'm going to use my light green Hala Shimmer because it's so cute. Put it in my bag. I also have what's called Christmas green. So this is lime green and this one is Christmas green. So I think I'm going to use Christmas green. And if you want to use the Kimberbell colors, it's calling for pine. I don't know if I'll ever just be able to do background quilting again with just regular thread. I'm like, oh, it's just not special enough. Here we go. How are we? Can I help anybody? Okay, the last one we have to do is going to have the bows on it. And in my video, when I realized I hadn't loaded this design, I went back to my edit screen. I got rid of the bows and I added this design on top. The issue was it changed the order of my stitch out. So I think I showed you in the video how you can change the order of the stitching. It stitches in the order in which you load the design. So since I got rid of the quilting design and then I added in the bows design, it made that last. So I had to fast forward and do all sorts of stuff. So, and that one is done. And we're ready to go back and we're going to load the last one. Does anyone have any questions? So it does want to do one that has the bows. The bows are so cute. Should I just go ahead? I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to do it. I'm going to say okay here. And we can start fresh. And to start fresh, you're just going to hit the home button. It will clear your screen. And I can go into embroidery. I'm going to go to my pocket and I'm going to find the bows design. This is a design database transfer. And this is the bows design. You want the 2.5 by 6.5, and you want the one that is horizontal. There's one that use the horizontals first, and then the next one's going to be vertical. I'm going to go ahead and set it. I'm going to go ahead and add, and let's add the pieced block on top. So these are not combined here, so you can combine it. But if we're just doing them one at a time and you guys aren't able to do the duplicate button, then just leave it here and we'll do it the way we always do it, which is just by hitting embroidery, and then in your layout screen, it's going to be combined. You can rotate in your layout screen. And for me, if I didn't have a camera, I could just pull it all the way to the bottom. I know that I have a ton of room down here, so it won't overlap. But if I want, I could do my camera. The other thing I could do is I'm just going to go ahead and move it down a little bit. And like I said, I can always check it by touching this button here, and I can check my leftmost point. So that's kind of close to this one, but I think it would be okay. But instead, why don't I just scoot it down a little bit? So I'm going to go move, and let's move it down just a little bit. That should be fine. And now if I want to check it, I can always go here. Let's go center topmost point. And I know you can't see it from your angle. Let me see if I can do it from the side. But that's plenty of room. I want to say I'm like a good ½ an inch away. So you can just check it that way too. You can go, what's my topmost point? What's my leftmost point? I mean, that can help you as well, okay? I could also just scoot them down just a tiny bit more. Okay, I'm ready. Or you could just go down to the bottom. You can just space them evenly. I'm ready to stitch. Say okay. I'm going to go down here, where I go forward and backward stitches. Sometimes you guys have those buttons, you've never used them before, but they're really nice in different situations. Where's my fabric? Here it is. And let's go ahead. We're going to do the same process. I still have my hollow shimmer in there, so let me go ahead and take that out. Any questions? Let's just keep stitching then, because we still have to do our snowflake blocks, but those are very quick. Because it's just the background quilting, really. Placement and background quilting. I've just been using this. It's just some random color that was sitting on the machine. Here we go.
Did we make the video visible again?
What was that?
Did you make that video visible again?
Which video?
The one that you did of the block before.
Oh, yeah.
I can't find it.
They're not visible for everyone. They're visible for you guys.
How
So
do we
if you
find
go
it?
to if you go to you know how I always send you that doc with links? It's in there. The links are all in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys will have it. Here we go. I'm going to give these a little shot of spray. And we're going to lay down the batting, and then we're going to skip to our template. Since I'm over here, let's go okay. And the template is this black grouping. I'm just going to touch that. I'm touching right in the middle, and then I go back to go to the beginning of it. Or you can just go arrow, arrow, arrow until you get to it. Okay, let's lay down our batting. Just go nice and slow. Pay attention. You have a couple spots that are dangerous, the corners and when it wants to come over. And then I'm going to go slow on this. I'm going to make sure that this corner makes it. That looks good. And stop it here. Looks like it got across just fine. And just take your time. Use your start stop. I just want to make sure it goes across without an issue. Okay, and then we're good.
Which video was that in? Which email? I can't find the links.
Did you get are you in the doc? The 2026 Mistletoe doc?
No, where is that? I was in my email.
I attached it to your invitation. So it should be attached to your invitation. Let me do a screen share and I'll show you where to find it. So that doc, it's the same doc that you're going to use for the entire year. So hang on, let me do a share. Share. Do this one? No. Only? No. Okay, hang on. Let me get out of here. Let me get this screen. All right. So if you go to, am I sharing? Okay, here we go. So, let me go to the calendar. Google Calendar. Is that what I want? Yes. Okay. I sent you an invitation and hopefully it's attached to it. So the invitation has like a PDF. No, not that one. This. No, that's your supply list. Your spreadsheet. Where is it? It looks like this. Hang on. Let me get rid of this. I gotta minimize that. Where are my docs? In 2026. Hopefully you've seen this before. I usually send it out to you. You guys, are you familiar with this doc? Where it has your links to your instructional videos and everything.
I got that.
every month I update it. So if you look here in May, it has all of the videos linked. So the pre-recorded videos using Moda 11 Share fabrics. So it's in there. I'll attach it and I'll send it again. But once you have that link stays the same and I update it every month. So I'll make sure I get it to you, okay? How do I stop sharing? Oh, here we go. All right. I'll send that to you again. All right. Fabric. What's the first one? I'm pretty sure we're going to lay down the, do you think we're laying down the mint green? Yeah, we're going to lay down the mint green first. Mint green first. Line the left edge up with your needle and scoot it about 1/4 of an inch. Make sure there you have an equal amount top and bottom and that this right side is completely covering that outside template line. And go ahead and stitch your, this is your tack down. This is your trim and your placement. That is your special doc that's just for people in this class. Some of the stuff I share, some of it I don't share with the outside world is what I mean. You guys get everything. We're going to trim everything to the left.
Thank you, Jeannie, for sending us everything.
Oh, I try, but I forget. I couldn't believe it when Linda was like, I didn't get the welcome letter to Patriotic because I had done it so long ago. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I never put it on there. I try to fire hose you with stuff. I'm sure sometimes you're like, it's too much. All right, that is now your placement line. So you're going to grab this fabric next, sticky side up, right side down. Make sure you control your, I've lost my spatula. Control your fabric. The first time I did it, I just hit start, and next thing I knew, my fabric was all askew and it was all over the place. I was like, oopsies. Yeah, like that doc right there. I thought I had attached it to your invitation. Guess not. But it's the same. You'll have a link for it, and that same link will always work. That's why I like Google Docs, because I don't have to send you a different link every single time. It just updates. Okay, this is your trim line first. And then we're going to hoop up in our 5x7. I'm going to do each snowflake separately. You can do them in the same hooping if you want, but I'm going to do each one separately. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll set up our machines for sewing and we'll sew the snowflakes on. Okay, last fabric, face down, right side down. You want to, you guys see how a little bit of the red is showing here? Cover the entire red. Just take your fabric and bring it all the way over so it doesn't shadow through. Do your trim line. And flip and fold. Whatever color you want to put in for your quilting. I think it calls for white. What does it call for this one? Yeah, it calls for white for 2 of them and pine for the last one. So maybe I will, I don't know. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the lime green. So I did silver, Christmas green, and now I'm doing lime green. Now your screen isn't going to show the, oh, wait. Sorry. You got to do the final outline stitch. I looked at my screen and I was like, wait a minute. That doesn't say we're done. So I'm going to put this back in. You need to do that final stitch that you're going to fussy cut to. So this is very important. Don't skip it. Final stitch. Keeping yourself busy? No. Oh, it did? So maybe if you could print out all the patriotic parade, we'll get all of that out. Patriotic parade just showed up, guys. Grady and I are talking through the bathroom door. It's so tempting. We're like roommates. All right. Here we go. Next week we'll do next we're going to do Sippin section 4 on Monday, and then the week after that we'll do Country Blooms. I'm going to stitch out my big sample this weekend. Country Blooms, Country Blooms. Okay, here we go. All right, remember we have to go back because we didn't finish this. We didn't do our quilting stitch. I know it's going to be right in here. For me, the easiest thing is to just touch in there, but we can fast forward to it too. And you're just going to be looking at your window right here and making sure that you see the quilting stitch in there. There it is. And now we're ready to go. And that's it. Next thing we're going to do, let's finish off those snowflake blocks. They're going to be easy peasy. I'll change that supply list. So it'll say optional badgemaster, but I say if those 2 layers of dissolve away worked for you, that's the way to go. The other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to trim away if there's any like stray icky threads on your snowflake, just snip those off. And you can do that later too, even after you sew it down. But if there's stuff sticking out, it's just, you're giving it a haircut. Let's just trim it up. So go through your snowflake and get rid of any like little threads that are sticking out. These are really cute, aren't they? And we are done with the filler blocks. Aren't those great? I like this kind of piecing in the hoop. I got to tell you, I rather just sew a pinwheel the old traditional way than do the piecing in the hoop with the pinwheel. But I love this kind of piecing in the hoop. The flip and fold for me is like, I love that. All right. Let's come on over here. What was the other box? Any questions? How are we doing? Are you guys okay? How are we? Okay. All right, let's hoop up. We're just going to do one at a time. If you want to do two at a time in the other hoop, you can do that. We're just going to repeat. One biggie on the top. Lori has no light in the back. We call the back the hole. I just tell the ladies, get in the hole. And the lights went out. But we fortunately have like an overhead light that's nice and bright. But she's been in the hole. Miss Cheryl, how are you? I see your long arm set up. All right, we've got our two pieces of fabric with our batting. We've got our two snowflakes. Mine are already on the machine. What thread are you going to quilt with? I'm going to go ahead and use my silver, but you can use whatever you want. If you're using the Kimberbell colors, they want you to use for the quilting, C. What's C? BCC. Oh, here we go. Starlight. So they're calling for Starlight. I'm going to use silver. Whatever you want, Starlight is going to be that like really, really dark kind of slate blue. And let's talk about the instructions really quickly. When I did these, I cut these 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches, which is going to be a little bit smaller than what they had us cut for block to block. So these are cut 5 by 5. If you're cut 4.5 by 4.5 inches, you are going to do steps 1, 3, and 5. If you're cut 5 by 5, you're going to do steps 1, 3, 4, and 5, and you'll see why. This isn't big enough to do the background tack down. That's all. The tack down would go right around the edge and just push it around and make a mess. So you're going to skip it if you cut your pieces 4.5 by 4.5. We have 5 by 5s. We're going to do every step except the batting, tack down, and trim. Okay? If you didn't cut your batting to size, you're going to do every single step. Let's go to the machine. Here we go. We're in the home stretch. You guys have done it. You are awesome. You can check your bobbin if you need it. What color am I doing? So for the other stuff, why don't I just have this sitting here? You're not going to see it, so I'm just going to put this blue in for all the other stuff. I'm taking out my Hala shimmer. Let's tidy up for a second. I have a mess back here because I did edge to edge yesterday. and I stopped, and then I just immediately went to work, and I was like, I'm going to be in there tomorrow, so I'll clean up tomorrow. So my edge to edge mess is all folded up and put away, but it's still in here. And then I knew I was going to be doing today, and I have this amazing talent of making a mess. It's my superpower. I don't know why I couldn't have had a better superpower. Like maybe I could have been Adele. I would have preferred that superpower over the one I have. Okay, let's load our design. There's really not much to load. You're just going to load, is it called Winter 10 4x4? So I'm going to say okay to this. And let's go home to the home screen. Oh, change to a larger embroidery frame. Okay, that's because I put this on before I cleared my screen. Just pop it out. I always forget that. Here we go. Now we can go. Embroidery, pocket, and I sent over my 4x4. Is that it? Is it the house? Yeah, it's the house. Winter. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Yeah, because they always show a picture in your book. So that is indeed correct. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set it. And I'm going to switch my hoop size because now I'm using my 5x7. And you've got placement, background, batting, tack down and trim, placement for the fabric, and then you've got your tack down for your fabric, and then you've got your quilting stitch. That's all there is here. I am going to bump that up. We're not adding anything to this. You're going to sew the snowflake on just using the regular sewing machine. I'm going to go layout, move arrows. Guess what? I took my hoop off. So if I did move it up, it would go right outside of the embroidery field. But once it's on, it won't. And now I can just hit this up arrow and it'll stop when it gets to the top. Okay, let's go ahead and do your, this is going to be the placement stitch for the batting. I'm going to grab my fabric here. Rough, that one. Do you like my little bite out of that? You don't need it. You're going to be trimming all that off anyways. Let's come on over here. You're going to lay down your batting piece. Oh, wait, do I have to do that yet? Yes. Oh, no, don't do that yet. Before you do that, let's go ahead. We are going to, let's go to the screen where you go forward and backward stitches. I'm going to do the placement stitch for the background fabric first. So I am not doing this stitch. So we're not doing the batting tack down. We're going to do steps 1, 3, 4, and 5. We're doing everything but the batting tack down. I'm going to do this without the batting down. And this will just give me point of reference for putting down my background fabric. Because when you put your background fabric, you want to be centered to this outer line. I would love it.
Do you have preference?
Nope.
One of those like mezza platters over here?
Yeah. Okay, now we're ready to lay down. So go ahead and put down your batting centered to the inner line and your background fabric centered to the outer line. And you want to be about 1/4 of an inch outside of that. And you can check, fold it back here, be about 1/4 inch top and bottom. Fold it back here, be about 1/4 inch left and right. And now we're going to do the tack down. And you're going to fussy cut to this tack down. So this is step 4 of 5. So we did step 1, we skipped step 2, and now we're doing step 4, and then we'll do the quilting step. Okay, quilting. I'm using my silver. It calls for starlight. Could you get away with just doing steps, batting placement, and then this tack down? You could, but I find that this step 3, the background placement stitch, helps me place that helps me place my background fabric a little bit better. So I prefer to do it. Okay, and do your quilting stitch. Okay, while it's doing the quilting stitch, heat up your iron. We're going to be pressing and trimming. So while it's doing that, you can go ahead and get your scissors. Get your scissors. I'm going to cut this off here. Don't cut it right to the stitch. Leave a little bit. 1/4 inch is enough, or 1/2 inch. And we're going to go ahead and trim this. Okay. Heat up your iron. Let's come back over here. We're going to rehoop and we're going to hoop up for the next one. Easy peasy, right? So you're going to do 2 of these. That's as difficult as it gets. Then we will manually sew on the snowflakes. We're just going to put them on here and then we're just going to sew them down. That's going to be it. So I don't even feel like I have to go all the way over to my, I don't have to go all the way to our hooping area. I'll just go ahead and do it right here. I'm going to scoot this up. We undo these. Here we go. Come down a little bit more. I like to see a little bit of the fabric peeking out like that. That to me is like the perfect amount. And you see, even then you still have so much room. There's usually about 1 inch. Great. Scoop back up again. Let's do steps 1 and 3 first, and then we'll lay down our fabric. 1 and 3. 1 and 3, and then we'll lay down our batting and our fabric. All right, color you can see doesn't make a difference. You're not going to see this. Finish embroidery. Okay, get your next piece of batting and background fabric. Here's my batting and background fabric, my can of spray. I try not to be too heavy-handed. You don't need a ton. Oh, we're going to do, before we lay it down, we want to do step 3. So I'm going to skip step 2. You're doing the 2 blues. Those are both placement stitches. So we did blue and blue. We did step 1 and 3, and then we're going to lay down our batting and our background fabric. How are we doing? I didn't even give you a bathroom break. I didn't give you a snack break. Wow. We're just so close.
Video uploaded.
What did you do?
I like reformatted it.
Oh, for those of you that have been waiting for Michelle's Miki Kim class, we finally got it up. Like we've been trying to do that for like the past couple of days since what, Wednesday? We're celebrating. Okay, lay them down, center them, check it, make sure you're about 1/4 inch outside the entire thing. There's not a ton of fabric there. You could cut these to 5.5 by 5.5 and add an extra inch if that's going to make you feel better about it. But this should be good enough. I am going to use my little spatula, make sure the fabric stays down and doesn't budge. And then your quilting stitch. Whatever color you want. Calling for starlight. I'm doing silver. I plan on doing silver if I can find it. I had it over here. And then we are going to trim everything. I don't know where my silver went. Did I toss it over here? I'm looking. I would say when in doubt, look on the floor, but I'm not seeing it on the floor. Here it is, on top of the machine. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Oh, you know what would be so pretty, but I didn't bring it? Arctic black. I think that would have been really, really pretty. Arctic black would have been great. I didn't bring my Arctic black. Okay, here we go. Stitch it out. Okay, my iron is nice and hot. So anytime I am pressing, I like to press on since I'm on my cutting mat, I use a double row of glue mat. And even then, you don't want to use too much water because you don't want the steam to distort and melt your cutting mat, which it'll do. So I'm just going to go ahead and give these a little press. and then we're gonna trim them. I brought my 6.5 by 6.5 inch ruler, and that's what I'm gonna use. This is the iron for my house that I got this right before the tulip pink iron came out. And I was like, oh, if only it would break. And finally, one day, my foot got wrapped around the cord, and I was running, and it came flying off of the table, and it smashed on the ground. But guess what? It broke off a little piece right here, but it still worked. So then I had a broken iron that I didn't love, just cosmetically. And then I was gifted an iron. I was gifted the tulip pink. I love my tulip pink, and I just brought this one to the store. You want your cutting mat too. You want your rotating cutting mat. Okay, we're done with the quilting. Looks fantastic. Isn't that cute? Super, super, super cute. Okay, I'm going to take this over to the machine. I'm sorry, to our trim area. We are done with that. The next thing after we trim these out, we are going to sew the snowflakes on, and then we'll be done with that. Let me get this up here. Here we go. All right. So we're going to press everything out. Okay, rotating mat. Let me press these, and then we'll get our rotating mat. We're going to trim. Let me see if I can go a little bit more. Any questions? How are we doing? I'm wearing you out today, huh? This is a lot. This one was a lot. There was a lot going on. And you just want these to be laying flat. Don't get me wrong, I love the Aliso. I'm just not much of an animal print person. That's all. Okay, I'm going to grab my rotating mat. And I brought a rotary cutter from home. And I brought my rulers. For this, I was like, I'm just going to use my regular rulers. So, okay, here we go. I use my pop rulers most of the time, but if it's nice and flat, sometimes I'll just use a regular ruler. This is my Quilter Select. I don't have a lot of these. What I love about them are they are so gummy. They do not budge. What I don't love about them is they are gummy. They don't budge. Because sometimes you just want to flick it a little bit and they don't move as much. I love the Creative Grids. I feel like they're the perfect combination. But like in times like this, when I don't want it to budge at all, I really do like the Quilter Select. So I like the markings on the Creative Grids too. They just make sense for my brain. I know some people don't like them, but I like the, that they have the 1/2 inches in the black and then the full inches in the white. And you want a rotating mat. If you don't have one, Mother's Day is coming up. Treat yourself. And you just want a fussy cut. What you don't want to do, I always tell people, you don't want to cut right on that line because cut to the ruler. You want to cut to the size, to the 4.5 by 4.5. Because if I cut right to that, I would be off by, I don't know. Can you see? It's not right on the line. The line is almost always inside. So I really don't recommend that you cut to that last tack down line. Okay, I'm going to put this one on. I'm going to trim this one. I would trim it first and then sew the snowflake on. I'd say 15 minutes.
15? That's not too bad.
Who's here?
Karen.
Karen?
What did I talk to you?
The less you have to pick up your ruler and reposition, the better. So get a rotating mat. I did order some more of the Sue Daily ones. The Sue Daily ones are great. They're like half the price of the Martelli. And they're on the same ball bearing system. All right, those are trimmed. Let's trim these. And then we're going to sew our snowflakes down and then you guys can go. I'm going to use this. This is my 6.5 by 6.5. And here's a 2.5 inch mark. I don't know if you can see it right there. So I'm going to just use this part. I'm going to pretend that's my ruler. I'm going to fussy cut to that. That looks good. Okay, I'm gonna have to do one last cut. Just reposition it one time, but that's so much better than having to. I used to like really twist my arm around when I was like cutting and I had my regular mats and rulers. This one is done. Looks adorable. And let's do the other two. And then we're going to set up our machine to sew. I have my, I'm going to use my digital dual feed foot and just the regular sole that comes with it. Again, can you see how like it doesn't go all that to the 6.5 doesn't go, it goes beyond that tack down. So don't trust that tack down as your final trim line. Your pieces won't be as accurate. Okay, where's my 2.5 inch mark? Okay, one more cut. And those are done. So here are our filler blocks, and they're so adorable. I just love these. Okay, super cute. These are trimmed and ready to go. Let's switch our machine. We're going to switch it over to sewing. I have my digital dual feed foot with me. I think I brought it. Pretty sure I brought it. Making a mess. Making a mess. Where are you? What is this for? Oh, this is for Patriotic Parade. Dual feed. Oh, you know what? We have our store one on the machine. I'll just go ahead and use that.
Hey, Jeannie, this
is all I want. Yes?
This is Stephanie. I have to leave here real quick, but I tacked mine down using the buttonhole or sewing the button on that you taught us how to do. Sewing the button
That's such a great idea.
It works great. I'm done with all. I tacked it in 4 little spots close to the center, and it tacked it on really quick.
That's like so much of a better idea. Okay, I'm so glad Stephanie said that. Let's go ahead. I didn't even think about doing that. Okay.
I used it on Sippin' on Sunshine. I used it for tacking on that little 3 pennant banner thing, and I tacked it on with that. Yeah. So I knew it worked on that. Yep.
We're just do that. Did you use the M foot or did you just use a regular foot?
No, I used the M foot and I just set it down and it just went over the little centerpiece and slide it off. Yeah. So
hey, you guys, I didn't prepare you for this because sometimes my ideas aren't as good as your ideas.
Well,
so
no.
what Stephanie used is she used this M foot. And if you're on a different machine, it's going to be your button sewing down foot. When I see that there's a whole bunch of buttons to sew on, I almost get excited because I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I get to use.
And you
It's
taught
such
us.
a great foot.
Yeah, you taught us that, and I would have never known that. And I'm so grateful that you taught us to sew. So like all the Kimberbell projects that have buttons, I sew them on with that now. Sometimes the holes don't line up, but yeah. So
it's
thank
totally
you.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for making the suggestion.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you later. Thanks so much.
Star, Stephanie.
Okay, bye-bye.
Gold star to Cindy for doing the reindeer. Gold star for Stephanie. All right. You guys all have gold stars. That's how we do it these days. Everyone gets a gold star. All right, you need your regular shank. So we're going to use your regular shank. Get your snowflake. You know what? This is the perfect time to use this. And let me go ahead and get my hoop screwdriver. Hopefully it's sitting up here. I didn't move it. And as far as thread goes, I would put white in because you don't want to see it. So let's go ahead and get our white thread. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I am using, this is the advanced screwdriver, and it is like my favorite thing in the world. I just get it going. If you're able to do that by just unscrewing it by hand, that means you are not tightening it enough, and it's going to shake off in the middle of your sewing. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to go to the sewing. And the stitch we're going to use. We're going to go in here where you have your buttonhole stitches. And there's a tack down right here. So it's stitch number 423. They also have like an eyelet stitch. So if you're sewing like a flower down in the center, you could use one of these stitches and they look really, really pretty. So we're going to use this stitch. It's going to tell you that it wants the M foot. What do these tell you? These are going to want the N foot. N as in Nancy. This one is going to want the M as in Mary foot. And I mean, you could sew it anyway. Like when I did it in the video, I just used the regular the regular foot, and I just sewed like kind of like a T across it. This is the regular ankle. So you're going to put the regular ankle on. We're going to tighten it up. I'm going to drop this foot. So normally this has this little, these silver prongs, and you would put the button in between and it would get held down right in between that. They get sandwiched in there, but we're not going to do that. And the snowflakes are too big to shove back here because you only have this much room. All right. So we're just going to use it kind of to hold it down. I'm just going to drop the foot down on it. We're going to grab it. You can just eyeball it. I didn't put my white thread in yet. Hang on just a second. Let me see where you are. How are we doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing this technique.
Oh, yay. Yeah. So you have two red dots on your foot right here. I know it's hard to see, but there's two red dots, and the stitches are going to go in between that. So that'll kind of give you point of reference. And if you put this down, we're going to just use a little bit of just transport tape. And Stephanie was saying she sold it down in 4 different places. So if you could choose, you could just choose like maybe here, 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 here. I want to do it on the end because it's kind of like nice to have those, the tips of the snowflake being dimensional. It is for you to be in the center. Do you like this? This is a present from Poppy. Poppy loves my transport. There's a couple things in my sewing room that she goes after, and transport tape is one of them. I don't know why, but she loves it. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and make sure I'm in the center. That looks good to me. I'm not worried about these, the ends of it, just the center part of it, because I'll fluff those to do whatever I want. And then you just choose. And you could do it, I could do it this way. So right now what I'm doing is I'm lining up this very center this center prong in here with this center, this right here, and then I'll just go ahead and I'll stitch it down. Where's my foot control? Hang on, I gotta rearrange. And it does a locking stitch, and then you can just cut. You have to, the stitch went right over that center prong, so you have to just bring it forward. Wow, that was fantastic. Yeah, I love it. Okay, let's do another one. Why is my foot down, Nana? That. And you can adjust the width of that stitch too. Like if I want it to be a little bit skinnier, that's the holes in your buttonhole. I'm going to take my width. Maybe I'll go 2.5. Let's do 2.5. I'm just going to go ahead. And we could do one more. I did here. It would be this one. Yeah, I love it. I think that's what would I do without you guys? And it does a locking stitch, so I just hit the cut button. And then you have to pull it forward off that center prong. And I don't think anyone would know. You're just going to go ahead and trim your threads. Let's do the next one. Make sure you're doing the right side. I didn't trim any of these. And I've got kind of a lot going on here. But you're going to want to trim your stitches down a little bit. I have some hairy stuff going on in here.
Jeannie, what stitch did you use again in the buttonhole? I'm sorry.
So I'm using the one that goes back and forth. It's stitched on my machine. It's 423.
Okay.
And it will show you the M foot. And that's the foot that you want to use. You will never be scared. Well, buttons are a different story because there's stuff you can hit. And you got to be careful that you set it up right. But like, I love sewing down buttons. I was looking at the buttons that are in Sippin'. But I was like, ooh, the holes might be a little too far apart for me to sew them down with the buttonhole foot, but I'm going to try it. I'm a little bit too far away. Let me lift this up. I want to make sure it's equidistant. That's pretty good. And I could stitch it on these four, or I could do it on the ones, I was doing it on the ones that were diagonal. Locking stitch, cut, bring it forward off the foot. I'm going to turn it here. I'm going to make sure he's straightened out before I sew him down. You can use any point of reference on your snowflake. Whoops! Did you see that? I hit my cut foot. Didn't catch my thread. Hang on a second. Which one got sewn down? Right here. What is going on there? Okay. Hang on. Let me reset that. Bring it forward. Make sure he's nice and straight. Oh, my thread didn't catch again. Hang on. And this is a good time also to use your start stop button. I usually just use my start stop button, but my foot control is plugged in and God forbid I unplug it. Okay, I don't know why he is.
So it was
He keeps,
buy and get one.
Oh my
So
God,
there's a
Patrick.
gyro and hummus and pita.
Thank you.
We'll put it here so you can sneak away. And
I'm almost done. This is it. For some reason, it's giving me a little bit of grief right now, but
how many stitches are on that machine?
I think this is like, I don't know, maybe close to 2 million. Okay. And we are sewn down. I don't even know if you can see it, but there's a little spot there. I did take my stitch width and I went to a, I think 2.5, and these are done. So anyway, you want to stitch them down, and then you could go ahead and fluff these the way you want. Trim your threads, and your May blocks are done. You guys hung strong with me. I appreciate it.
That was very cool to learn that. I'm glad Stephanie mentioned it.
Suggestion. I love that. I didn't even think about doing that. So that was awesome. I love that too. So use that foot. That foot is so much fun.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thanks,
I will
Jeannie.
go ahead and post this. We'll put this up. We will get together next month for our. Is it going to be June? Oh my God.
Yep.
I can't believe I'm saying that. We'll get together for the June. Plan on stitching both of the June blocks for the Kimberbell fabric with me in class. We're going to start doing that from now on. And have a great day.
Okay,
We'll
thank
see you later, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Donna, are you okay? What's the egg for? Can I help you? June. Yeah, it's June. It'll be great. We'll have a great summer. We'll see you later. Bye.